The string of crises that have hit Cote d'Ivoire have left the country reeling, with infrastructure, the economy and social services cracking under the strain of falling revenues. From 2006 to 2016, the African Development Bank financed several programs to help the country's reconstruction process. In what sectors has the bank invested? Which projects were successful? Which failed? And why? At the end of its intervention, the bank launched an evaluation led by IDEV, its Independent Development Evaluation Unit.
Cote d'Ivoire has a national development plan. The bank's role is to see how it can support the development of the country and the development of the program developed by the policymakers in this country, the President Ouattara and his government. Our role then is to go and see if the bank chose the right things, were they relevant, and did they implement them efficiently and effectively? Did we achieve the results in the end which we were seeking?
Over the course of its 10-year plan, the AfDB invested approximately $1.5 billion and intervened in various sectors. There were, however, 3 priority sectors. The transport sector received 39% of the bank's funding, followed by energy, 20%, and social services, 17%. The bank financed 7 transport projects, with the most emblematic being the HKB, or Henri Conan-Bédier Bridge. The HKB bridge has successfully reduced transport time.
Ça me donne de gagner en temps et en essence.
C'est fluide, la rapidité, je gagne du temps et j'économise du carburant. Et ça me permet ainsi de faire toutes les courses sans aucun souci.
IDEV concluded that AfDB intervention in the infrastructure sector have been successful, particularly as far as the Henri Conan-Bédier Bridge is concerned. The volume of traffic on the HKB bridge is at target levels. Construction delays were not excessive, and its construction actually created more job opportunities than were initially hoped for. The project's main weak point was that the risk sharing in this public-private partnership was deemed inequitable.
Ce stade, il n'est pas financièrement rentable, alors que l'État ivoirien est le seul à supporter, à garantir la rentabilité financière de ce projet. Dans ce contexte, l'évaluation a estimé qu'il n'y a pas d'équité dans le partage des risques entre l'État ivoirien et son partenaire privé.
As a result, in 2016, the state had to cover the deficit itself. Accounting for 20% of AfDB funding, in the country, the energy sector was another key area of intervention.
Au niveau du secteur de l'énergie, l'appréciation globale a été très satisfaisante. La banque a intervenu à travers 2 projets sous forme de partenariat public-privé au niveau des centrales électriques d'Azito et de Cyprel. Ces 2 interventions ont permis d'augmenter la capacité nationale de production d'énergie thermique de près de 20%, ce qui est très substantiel.
The main focus was on the Azito power plant a few kilometers from Abidjan. The privately owned power station received a $40 million loan from the AfDB. Thanks to the project, the plant now produces more electricity from the same amount of gas, with output increasing from 278 to 417 megawatts an hour. But the evaluators also concluded that the energy sector still has a number of weaknesses, with fraud and decrepit equipment resulting in losses estimated at 22% in 2015. Third position, with 17% of AfDB investment, comes the social sector. But here the evaluators were less impressed. 3 of the 5 projects studied were judged satisfactory. The 4th was deemed unsatisfactory, while the 5th project could not provide adequate data.
De façon globale, l'évaluation a eu du mal à apprécier les projets de ce secteur parce que beaucoup n'avaient pas une bonne qualité à l'entrée. Autrement dit, dans la conception, nous avons vu beaucoup de faiblesses, des objectifs qui n'étaient pas chiffrés, quantifiés. Dans ce contexte, il est très difficile de se prononcer de façon objective.
The evaluators also noted the lack of follow-through after the end of AfDB funding support. One example was the Centre for Excellence of the hospital in Bouaké, which was no longer running once the project ended. Other sectors that were evaluated including AfDB operations in the agricultural sector, which was judged satisfactory. Most of the projects, such as the cereal bank in Bodokro, led to improved output and marketing of commodities. However, in the emergency aid sector, the bank's intervention was judged to be less effective. With lengthy administrative procedures, aid often reached the beneficiaries several months late. In conclusion, the AfDB's overall intervention policy in Cote d'Ivoire was judged positive, despite shortcomings in certain sectors. The evaluation findings were then shared with the Ivorian authorities, who expressed their point of view.
La Côte d'Ivoire est sortie de la crise. La Banque africaine de développement a été pour la Côte d'Ivoire, sur la période sur revue, un partenaire fiable. Un partenaire qui a su mobiliser les ressources pour nous accompagner sur les préoccupations du moment.
But while the country is indeed out of the crisis, major challenges still lie ahead in the years to come. The African Development Bank is currently working on its next investment policy for the Côte d'Ivoire.
Il y a évidemment le renforcement des institutions et de la bonne gouvernance. Il y a la formation du capital humain avec donc toute la problématique de l'emploi des jeunes. Il y a également la transformation structurelle de l'économie et notamment avec l'accent sur l'agriculture, le développement de chaînes de l'agro-industrie. Donc c'est un élément sur lequel le gouvernement compte pour pouvoir effectivement continuer à tirer la croissance, créer des emplois et puis améliorer la qualité de vie et du bien-être des populations. Et puis il y a également l'intégration régionale.
Lessons can always be learnt from evaluations of previous projects, and the evaluators provide advice to help the bank optimize its interventions.
Dans ce contexte, pour la banque, pour améliorer davantage sa performance, devrait être plus attentif à un certain nombre d'aspects, notamment l'aspect inclusif de ses interventions, la qualité à l'entrée des opérations, la qualité du suivi des opérations, ainsi que la durabilité.
The ball is now in the bank's court. Its new strategy must take account of the Ivorian state's priorities, as well as the lessons to be learnt from previous interventions. Fulfilling these conditions is key to further improve aid effectiveness and the lives of millions of Ivorians.